when people say that Trump is just a front for MAGA or Project 2025, the thing that strikes me is that I don't think those people understand cults. I do, though. I'm Daniela, scholar of cults, extreme groups, and extremely bad leadership. I wrote a book about growing up in the Children of God religious cult and going into the cult of the U.S. Army. You can get signed copies attached here. Now, I do think they wanted that. I think that the Republican Party, I think that these idea cults that have been being built and trying to get government power since the 60s and 70s thought that, right? These cults of racist conservatism, I think they thought that they were getting a front man and a pansy in Donald Trump. That's also because they don't know how cults work. So cults pop up in times of social turmoil, right? Which is certainly what we have been living through. So we've had a lot of these culty groups in America leading up to this last administration, which is why I have a whole research book written called The Culting of America. And it was supposed to be showing you all, hey, it's gotten really culty here and they're going to get real power soon. And then they did, right? And here's the thing about growing up in the Children of God. We watched our leader, I mean, I wasn't born yet, but our leader did exactly what Donald Trump did, which is he went in and he collected everyone else's cults. Cults pop up in times of social turmoil, and not all cult leaders are created equal. And so Donald Trump went around and pulled everyone that was in all these little cult groups into the cult of MAGA. We know this, right? Because we have never seen the evangelicals, the Catholics, and the Mormons all in bed together before. Yeah. So he's the cult leader, and there is no point at which the cult leader just sort of becomes fungible, right? There's a leadership structure that's not him, right? The cult leader is not the main person doing the work of leadership, the daily work of leadership. Those are bureaucrats doing that, right? Those are the cult leadership doing that. But the cult leader is always important. As a figurehead, he is always important, and he's almost never fully controlled by the rest of the cult leadership. This is where my analogy of the 100-acre wood comes in really helpfully with Donald Trump, right? So Tigger obviously is the cult leader, right? He makes up a name for himself, tells you he's the only one, bounces around creating havoc, and he's orange. Okay, so Tigger's the leader, absolutely, right? He's the one telling you about the heffalumps and woozles that are coming to get you, and he's the only one that's going to save you, and you have to go on this quest. And in the meantime, he's bouncing around creating absolute havoc, right? And Rabbit, who's the cult uncle, first in the cult leadership, he's not in control of Tigger, right? He's part of the leadership team, but he's not in control of him. He doesn't get to choose the craziness that happens. He just gets to run around and try to make sense of it afterward. And that's why we see the ridiculousness that is going on right now. So it's not as simple, basically, as just saying, oh, he's a figurehead. He's a figurehead for Project 25. First of all, Project 2025 is a paper. It's an operation plan. It doesn't have leaders. It's a thing. It's a cult operation plan, which is never going to be fully in place because part of it includes disarming America, and that's not physically or temporally possible, right? But no, you never get to a place where the leaders can just remove the figurehead when you have built this cult of personality and it goes well for them. It's not the way it works. You get signed copies of Uncultured attached here, or listen to me read it to you anywhere you get your audiobooks. You can get pre-orders of Culting of America, the much anticipated, which comes out January 20th, attached here.